biting of the Wraith King. I feel like if you bite, is this the Skeleton King?
I feel like if you're Valve, you shouldn't take Ag's suggestions from Slacks ever again. But that's a different...
See, the reason this one makes sense is because it fits the lore so perfectly. You know, I don't know if have you seen Dota. Twilight?
I have.
Okay, there's a werewolf in that.
That is correct.
That was the worst love triangle of all time. So, upper bracket final. We're already here at this is day number 2.
Yep.
Already upper bracket finals. Things quite quick.
Yeah, I mean, we covered a lot of it on the panel about what to expect here. I'm kind of with Effie that even if this does go later, it's not clear cut just a victory for Quincy, but I think it's what they definitely will need to play for. I'm looking at TSM FTX's lineup, and it just looks really solid to me, and it looks like, you know, a lot of the stuff that they've been successful with in the league play as well as yesterday is just having multiple heroes that have some sort of heavy damage and control tied into them, like Queen of Pain with the Sonic Wave as a huge AoE damage ability that also has a knockback. You have lots of lockdown. Your carry has a stun. You have plenty of single target damage with Lycan and Wraith King. And you have the stuns to set them up, right? It's just the lineup itself has very good internal synergy, and the ease of execution is definitely there. Looking at Quincy, I think there's a lot of things that need to go right in order for them to pull off a good team fight. It's a little bit more tricky. Try versus try.
Yeah, keep in mind the last time these two teams faced off against each other was during the regular season of the DPC. This was before the last week, actually, but it essentially came down to if Quincy Crew won, they would ensure themselves first place, which they did, but it did go 3 games, and it was pretty close overall. Undying at the time, which is TSM now, I believe it was game 3, they had a pretty decent advantage in the game, and they kind of flopped.
They dropped the ball badly in that game. That's... Out of any game I've seen from them this season, that was the one where they just lost control the absolute most of what they were doing. And kind of
they were up like double-digit net worth, like 10K plus. They made one mistake, and it was only like a 2K net worth swing, but then they just started playing differently throughout the rest
Tomato.
of the Wraith Fire Blast on the Milan, but the chase onto Tomato, this is going to end up being first blood one way or the other, and it's going to go to Quincy Crew. Kezu gets credit for that. Ponlo looks like he'll be able to die as well.
Very good.
Be able to on his own accord.
XD. Nice attempt there to try to cover his tracks with the Ironwood Branch. If he could have fogged for half a second more, he could have Shikuchi'd out. At the end of the day, though, he ends up feeding over a good tango to Shaman as well as 50 gold.
Wow.
Down the drain. So, but it was
massive.
That was a cute attempt. Curious about this mid lane. So, I know most of the action is going to be top, but I just want to quickly have a look at that mid lane because Ember was... You know, partially picked by Quincy here as a matchup against the Queen of Pain. Brawl is looking pretty good for starters, but Quinn has his own. You would expect this to go pretty evenly, but that also means that both heroes with any sort of power rune can make massive side lane rotations once they start popping up in some minutes.
And who gets the best luck with power runes? Self-proclaimed god, Quinn himself. Kezu taking a lot of damage, but it's going to turn this round onto Moon Meander now with that poison attack. Along with Ponlo on the Weaver. He's going to get Hex for now. A couple more right clicks should suffice. Milan goes in with the hammer as well, and they'll be able to find the kill onto Moon Meander. And you can see the power of Kezu here on this Viper. He's going to get gone on by Tomato, though. The Fairy Fire's popped. The Starbreaker connects onto Tomato. It's going to be a second death for him before the 3-minute mark, and they're going to get the double kill for Ponlo. This is a complete disaster for TSM in this top lane.
Yeah, this tri-lane from Quincy is exceptionally strong. You have the Viper as a tanky frontliner with the corrosive skin and already rushing the urn here on Kezu, and then Weaver is just a godly laner. Like, level 2 on Weaver, the Swarm plus Shikuchi. There is no support in current Dota that can have that impact on level 2, and Quincy are taking full advantage of that. So great start for them in that top lane. And it's just so crucial if they can pull off at least one significant lane win, because what we talked about with tempo in the game and what TSM want to do, it is kind of integral for them in order to be able to pull that off, that they have the supports on board. And when you play a tri-lane and you lose that lane, those levels are you're gonna be level starved really hard.
And now Tomato and Moon Meander have made their way to the bot lane just because of how bad that top lane went for them. So a little bit of a shuffle here.
I like that a lot from them. I think you have to mix it up. They just identified, all right, this top lane didn't go the way we wanted. We gotta change something, and they will. It's still not great, though. Like, Naga is going to have a very easy time in this laning matchup against Wraith King and Shadow Shaman. So they're definitely not going to stop Yawar, but they might enable Tomato.
Right, and that means Saberlight's going to be top lane now as a result of these changes. If we look at the CS right now in the mid lane, 16-4 for Quinn, while Mr. Bryle himself 21-7. And keep in mind, this matchup has gone very Quinn favored, which I guess you could say for a lot of NA matchups is Tomato. Oh my god, he's going to die again down here? No. Just barely lives, although the illusions are chasing a bit. Man, that would have been just absolutely awful for him. But yeah, good start for Bryle, which for TSM fans, very happy to see.
Very true. I think every lane matchup we watched between Bryle and Quinn in the pro games, in pubs, generally goes the way of Quinn.
I don't think anybody can play in this lane right now. This is not remotely close. And I mean, this is, aside from the mid lane, Cinder, this is just awful for TSM for this start. And Quincy crew taking full advantage of it.
TSM at the very least did get a return kill here bottom, killing off the Weaver of Ponlo, who might have overextended a little bit. But what he did accomplish is Tomato as well as Moon Meander are very, very damaged right now. So there's plenty of opportunity to find a kill sometime soon here for Yawar with the level 1 ensnare. They're going to go for it right now. Trying to dodge the Wraithfire Blast with Mirror Image, but it was actually on Ponlo.
And he's ticking away very slowly to that swarm. Looks like he's just going to die. So another kill for Ponlo, as Moon Meander is going to get chased down with that Shikuchi as well, but he'll hide in the tree line here. They're not going to go any further, at least not yet. He gets off an Ether Shock. Ponlo just waiting for that Shikuchi to come back off cooldown. He's going to get Hex to start things out. TP's coming in, but the Ensnare is going to ensure that that's the second double kill, but there's another double kill this time around for TSM. So a nice rotation from Bryle. Seems to be their saving grace this game.
Great bait from Moon Meander. He was clearly trying to get them to go on him there.
Yeah.
They were dancing a little bit back and forth. They're like, really? And then they do take the bait. Bryle TPs in and gets the double. So nice punish. It is going to cost him the 6-minute rune, of course. This rotation came at 5:45, so he won't make it back to the river in time. And that's going to net Quinn an invis. But Bryle more than happy to trade that for a double kill. And maybe even more. He stuck around for so long.
Yawar's in so much trouble. TP support coming in, but it's going to be too late. And that is 2 quick deaths for Yawar.
That is rough. He TP'd here and died again. So on respawn, 20 seconds away, he has to walk all the way to a lane, which will take him an additional 20 seconds. Or he has to jungle, but he's only level 5.
Now we got the hammer with the slows coming out from Kezu as well. Starbreaker is going to fully connect. Viper Strike on top. Saberlight Nightmare is going to delay the inevitable. Yeah. So this lane is still all Quincy crew, but TSM has made a pretty big comeback in that bot lane for sure.
Yeah. Got to be worried for life.
I mean, look at the net worth. I mean, Yawar had free farm for the first, like until a minute ago, and now he's lower net worth than Wraith King. Not expecting that, that's for sure.
Yeah, the big loser here, though, is going to be Saberlight. He is so far behind on Lycan. Level 4, well, he is going to finally crack level 5 now, but has effectively the same net worth as his position 4 Shadow Shaman, as the enemy position 4 Weaver. Lycan can offer quite a lot with just the Helm of the Dominator, so it's not like the worst hero to fall behind on. But it is definitely a concern here if you're TSM that Saberlight is struggling.
How fast do you want to get Ags on Lycan? Do you get the Helm of the Overlord into Ags? Or is there something in between this game?
I'm wondering if you can bypass Overlord and just go Dom Ags, actually. I don't think there's anything in between. If you do want to go that build, you do get it at that time.
Yeah, we have the Nightmare come out, but looks like a little save action here from Milan. So yeah, looking at the farm with the mids now, very even, despite the amazing rotation from Bryle. So I guess space was created a bit, enough for Quinn to kind of get back in the game. Maybe some camps in the jungle, but he's recovered nicely after the... I mean, for him, this was kind of a slow start based on what we've seen in the past.
He's just a bit ahead on CS. The kills are nice, but Quinn being a full 10 CS ahead is going to roughly equalize those 2 kills when none of them was the first blood.
Starbreaker's there. Saberlight's going to pop that ult with Bryle's rotation as well, but they're going to be chasing Milan as Dubu on the other side of the map. Looks like he's going to tick out eventually. It'll be a trade of sorts across the map as Kezu gets off the Viper Strike. More rotations, though. Moon Meander's here as well, so it's a 3 versus 1. Has the Shackle into the Sonic Wave. Bryle with his second double kill of the game. Extremely excited about that one. You know, it's funny watching Counter-Strike or just any FPS game really and seeing the reaction people have versus Dota where everyone is just dead inside.
That's the thing about Dota versus Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike, you can you have time to celebrate when you win a key round because there's downtime. In Dota, it's like, yay, I still need to hit creeps. So, you know, on to the next objective, on to the next move immediately. I'm assuming, so before we cut over to Bryle there, he probably said nice, but we don't get to see that in the camera shots.
Or he just did a chat wheel line as well, right? Which requires you not to talk, which is the best min-maxing for pros. You don't have to use energy.
Yeah, it basically won OG millions of dollars. There we go, the chat wheel.
That's true.
Then they didn't need to say anything to each other anymore.
Nice deny for Tomato here in that mid lane, but still, the tower is down before the 10-minute mark. And so you're talking about with having a Naga for Quincy crew, you're just trying to buy time for her to get enough farm to have a big impact? Is that kind of the game plan?
Yeah, I just think it's that good of a Naga game that if you ensure Yawar's farm and you give him time, it's going to pay off big time. Naga doesn't really... Oh, hang on.
Yep, sheep applied to Quinn. Going to continue to try to chase. There's a sleight of fist. Kezu in the vicinity as well. Gets off the poison attack. And it looks like they'll find the easy kill eventually here.
But yeah, Naga doesn't offer very much in this game. There's no sleep combo, right? If you're offering a lot as Naga while farming as a carry, most of the time it will be because of your ulti. There's just no synergy there, really. You can song into Dawn ult, but that sounds awful. So I don't really think that's the way to do it. So yeah, just farm up, get 2 key items. Looks to be Manta Scotty. I think he's bypassing Diffusal entirely, which is also...
Searing Chains. Like it's going to pop the ult here.
Oh, it's not a good stomp from Saberlight. Oh, it did hit the ground.
Well, you can blame the Centaur, not Saberlight.
He's playing on ping. We talked about that in the interview with him yesterday. He was like, I've largely got used to it, but when I play Mars, I miss every second spear on NA ping. I think Centaur Stomp is actually really hard to... Oh, he actually did animation cancel. He didn't even throw it out. So joke's on me. This one he did land. It's going to die to the Swarm, though. Oh, denied it. Wow. Very nice. And bot tower for Bryle. Actually, 11 minutes manages to take that bottom safe lane, or bottom tier 1 tower, excuse me.
Yep, not too shabby.
Kind of unusual.
He is going to be going for the Orchid.
Yep.
And his counterpart in Quinn, as we're going to see a smoke here, is going to be going for the typical Maelstrom build. And they will find Bryle, but no Searing Chains there for Quinn, so he's just going to farm this couple camps.
Yeah, Quinn didn't have the most mana to work with there. Has to be careful about throwing out too much, especially when there's no direct kill threat. Just preferring to poke and prod a little bit with Sleight of Fist for the extra damage, but...
I mean, this is going to be the most interesting thing from TSM's perspective on like how these items kind of align in terms of timing. Because Tomato, I would assume Armlet into Deso is going to be the build with a Blink Dagger afterwards. And is that enough time for the Ags to come online for Lycan? Because I would assume that's kind of the timing window that's going to really ramp things up.
They're definitely not going to line up. Lycan is too far
going for
behind.
the Overlord now.
Yeah, he's going to go Overlord first before Ags, so that is well away. That's probably like 15 minutes until both of those are complete if he does well. Swarm. Gonna miss entirely.
Yeah. Quinn continuing to chase, gets the Sleight of Fist. They know Moon Meander is in the area. Is Bryle still in the tree line? And even the Serpent Ward's expended for this. That's gonna be some farm for Quinn as TP rotations from Tomato. Don't know if they want to actually stick around here, as Dubu's going to get taken out in all likelihood. Isn't it basically a 1v4? Tomato pretty low on HP, but has Reincarnation. There's a Sonic Wave, but the song to counteract it, he is Shadow Struck right now. Looks like he'll live through the day, does Yawar.
I think if you're Quincy, you're pretty happy with it.
Oh, nice cheeky play here from Ponlo. So that is the Reincarn down, and Quinn and company want to continue to chase, but the Searing Chain's not able to connect. Kezu just in range to get that auto attack off. And as a result of Ponlo getting a nice kill there, or using that ult, they'll find the kill eventually on Tomato. Big kill for Quincy crew.
Yeah, they're going to be feeling great about that. They got 3 kills. They forced out Sonic Wave. They forced out Reincarnation. And probably the bottom tier 1 tower is going to fall sometime soon now. They've got it down to 40%, and all it takes is 1 rotation down there, and there's to get the job done. Yawar.
Yeah, we got Boots of Travel coming in as well. As the Dawnbreaker ult, it will connect into the Starbreaker. Despite turning into a wolf, he literally could not move an inch or a centimeter, depending on what region you're from, Cinderin.
That's 2.5 centimeters.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love asking you conversion stuff because you are a robot, so you have a built-in calculator.
Yes.
That was part of your original operating system. Appreciate that. Shout out to Bill Gates.
If only.
Don't tell me it's Bezos. Come on.
If only.
Come on. So 4K net worth lead for
whoever of
Quincy
them it was,
crew.
they didn't program money into it. So.
Bryle. The Orchid. Yep, Bryle jumps on in. Dubu's in the area as well. Gets off the Fiend's grip. Kezu does TP in, but it might not be enough to save their position 1. But they could get a little bit of a cleanup here. Starbreaker ends up rocking completely onto Dubu, attempting to TP out, but will not get out. So it's a 1-for-1, but definite favor going to TSM on that exchange.
I really like that from Dubu, though, even though he ended up dying. I think it's very understandable that he tries to TP there, and I think it was definitely well worth giving it an attempt. That's something to keep in mind as well. Oh, hang on. Kezu.
Orchid again into the
Saberlight
Shadow
is
Strike.
flanking here.
Yeah, he's already at half health, and there's the tomato creep coming. That's the scariest thing of all, into the Sonic Wave. So
Saberlight with the last
second
one
value
attack from the Hellbear.
That's all he needs.
Yeah, he did the job.
I mean, he does need the farm. His Moomian are going to be taking out bot lane. Uses the Serpent Wards again, and I assume Quincy crew will try to farm that if they have a little bit of time here. But still, the tower is relatively healthy, and yeah, he's just going to have to back off. And he does have the Maelstrom fully built. Going for Yules now as well. So looking for extra utility for himself. Okay, he pushes enough for this siege to probably do most of the damage here now.
Yep, the siege creep not in range of the Serpent Wards, so they can't solve that problem. Quinn will take it. Nice attempt at the deny there from Moon Meander, but didn't quite get it. Meanwhile, mid, Kezu might have to deny that one, and he did not try.
He did.
Wasn't he just hitting the wolves?
He tried at the last moment, but the animation too long, sadly, for Viper. I mean, speaking of Kezu, he went Boots of Travel, which we've been seeing as the pretty much standard item on this hero to start the game. And his choice will be BKB second.
Yeah, not too surprising. I actually... Oh, hang on.
Yes, hang on, Tomato. Level 11, so still only level 1 Reincarn. And only 200 away from finishing Deso, so definitely does not want to die right now. Nope, but Dubu will not have a choice in the matter.
Dubu does want to die right now.
I mean, in the last couple minutes...
It's a really difficult Bane game, by the way.
TSM has cut the lead in half the last few minutes. So, I mean, do you feel like the momentum, or not, maybe not the momentum, the pace of the game is favoring one team or the other?
I still like Quincy in the game state, as long as this keeps developing like this. But TSM definitely are catching up.
Oh, Sonic Wave with the shapeshift on the sideline. Tomato has the Wraithfire Blast as well, but oh, the Dawnbreaker will not be there in time. Milan gets a nice stun onto Tuda with the Starbreaker, but can they clean up anybody else? No, Ponlo gets hexed and brought down, so 2 quick deaths for Quincy crew, and now they have to retreat. And into the Roche Pit they go.
Ponlo was not expecting that Shadow Shaman Hex. Got punished. And speaking of him, there's going to be a dagger coming his way soon. He has the Serpent Wards. This is huge for TSM. They're basically full-on equalizing the game here. And if you're Quincy crew, you could try to be cute here with a Song of the Siren Steel, but they just don't have the information to even give it a shot. So, going to Bryle.
Thank God. I'm so tired of these Aegises on Wraith King, man. I'm not going to...
I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm a little bit worried about what item Yawar is hovering here. I don't think this is going to do enough. He's queuing up Heart.
Second item Heart?
On Naga. If he goes Manta Heart, I feel like they're going to run into damage issues for quite a while. And in that timing window that he's farming his future items, like let's say Butterfly, Scotty, or whatever he wants, or Bloodthorn, they're too susceptible to just getting run at.
Right.
All right, I'll be honest with you. Naga is really one of my worst heroes, especially as a carry. I don't have much experience, but this feels wrong to me to go for the heart here. So I wonder what the mindset is.
I mean, originally you said Diffusal, Scotty, Manta, right?
Or Manta Scotty. Like, Manta Scotty is also totally common. Or sometimes we've seen, you know, like at TI, we saw a build with Manta into Ags and Bloodthorn to just assassinate Lycan, for example. I think that could also be kind of cool here.
And we got the grip, and that is a dead Milan.
Very dead. Clunk.
Deso for Tomato. He's had that for a little bit now, so only 500 away from Blink Dagger. As Bryle, they have some information that Quinn is here. But he does... Wait, does he actually have the Yules finished for the Orchid? No, it's actually not done yet, so still could die very easily to that combo. This dude was going to get Viper struck, but there's a Wraith Fire Blast to try to counteract this. Quinn with a nice sleight of fist. And Bane is going to be first to fall here, but Kezu getting chased with that big Golem. Song from Yawar will save everybody and reset the fight, and Quincy crew likely to completely retreat here. But the Hex, with that dust, they have the vision, so it'll be a 1-for-1.
Shapeshift was used, but no Sonic Wave, so TSM will still be strong in a potential follow-up fight. Also still have Reincarn. And Tomato's just going to go and regen up fully in the jungle. That must be one of the most feel-good things about playing Wraith King in general, right? It's like you take a nice long fight, you don't lose your ult, you're low on health. 10 seconds later, you're full. It's lifesteal's just incredible. Finds a Brigand's Blade.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Very good item on Wraith King. You get heroes to half HP, and then with your guaranteed critical strike as well as the Brigand's Blade on top, makes for quite the devastating attack.
Quinn trying to defend the tier 2 tower, already at half health. And his Yule should be on the way to be able to dispel that Orchid. So I feel like that's the point where he's going to feel a little bit more safe. As this ancient Granite Golem. Actually so tanky. I mean, who do they have to even kill this thing? Honestly, they don't really have a traditional lineup that could just focus this down quite easily.
Naga kills it pretty fast when she has damage items within Snare. But like we already covered, not really quite there yet. Viper is also okay, as you're seeing here.
Ancient Granite Golem. Don't die on me. That extra HP buff, he's gonna live, Cinder, and as I told you, they're unable to kill it. Just absolutely impossible. Moon trying to get off the Serpent Wards. He does so with the initiation from Tomato. It'll be a trade, but definitely in favor of TSM as Quinn trying to reset. But again, they're going to find Ponlo on the sideline. And this means the number advantage in favor of TSM as Quinn might just have to let this tower go.
I think Quincy crew are really feeling the pressure that we were talking about pre-game, right? Like, TSM are just hitting their stride right now, 20 minutes in, running at them. He's dead.
Yeah. Mega dead Milan. Nice rotation from TSM again.
So the problem is, all right, TSM is going to show up top at this tier 2 tower and start pushing it with Lycan and Wraith King. What do you do as Quincy? Do you defend or not? If you're defending, I don't think you can ever defend without Naga. If you bring the Naga and you lose the fight, you probably lose the laner barracks. So it's kind of this tricky spot, and they end up doing half and half, and that just ends up costing them 3 heroes in the tower because they were split pushing at the same time. It really is the weakness of their lineup right now that Viper's initial peak has passed. Ember isn't really fully functional yet with just a Yules and a Maelstrom. Naga has no damage. So killing is proving to be quite the challenge for the Dire lineup at this point in time.
But Yawar hasn't died yet with that heart, Synderen.
He has not. He has 3 deaths, but they're before he bought the heart. Since then, he has not interacted with another hero. In that is a good way of staying safe. You have a really high chance of not dying in a game of Dota if you just go AFK from the start.
Yeah, and he's going to be going for Ags now, by the way. So we'll be able to
give him a way of solving Lycan and Quap, but not to sound like a broken record, who's killing? Is that enough?
Right.
Still worried about that.
Well, only time will tell, but the lead has definitely flip-flopped a bit here. I mean, in terms of net worth, it is quite even, but does feel very TSM favored in terms of just the momentum and how the game has shifted overall.
It's time for one of my favorite quiz questions for you, Sean. What is Gaben's prediction in this game state? What do you think?
You have to hold that thought center. We have the Orchid. Okay, Yules from Quinn. He's able to remnant out.
I might have a
Light.
song here, maybe not.
Okay, there we see the ensnare to start things off, but doesn't look like Quincy could really want to commit fully to a fight here.
Same for TSM. They already spread out and try to kill the Dawnbreaker top, but Milan with a good read backed off. Give me your guess on win probability.
60-40 in favor of TSM.
Let's have a look. 73.
73.
Yeah.
All right, that's higher than I thought.
It's pretty high.
I figured Gaben would like Naga games, but maybe not.
Does anybody really like Nog?
That's true. Well, apparently you are. All right. We have the Orchid on Quinn. He's just going to fight through it as Bryle. Okay, they're actually baiting this, but there's the Dawnbreaker ult to come through as well. Nice dodge onto the Sonic Wave with the Yule Scepter. Quinn lives as a result, and they take out Moon Meander in tow.
Very fast Dawn ult there from Milan, and very important. If he waits one more second, Quinstead, that had to be a quick reaction. They were doing so much damage, and they would have connected the Sonic Wave, but...
Oh, he's actually only 100 away from finishing Ags on Milan,
Yep,
so...
very good item this game.
That's pretty cool.
Both Lycan as well as Wraith King are going to lose a crap load of damage as long as people are inside the ulti of the Dawn.
All right, let's watch this juicy Yule Scepter. The fact that he held onto it during the Orchid. Yeah.
God, I love that sound in slow motion. It's so funny. It gets me every time.
God, sounds like a demon.
That's
The backward scream just sounds like a record being scratched, actually. Yeah. And Quinn,
I'm sure there must be somebody out there who's going to sample Quap sounds into some sick beat.
I'm sure they've done that already. I've seen an Axe and Quap video. I don't know if you've seen that one from a long time ago. But
I don't browse that subreddit channel.
Oh, sorry. I sent you the link, but I guess you didn't click it.
I actually think I have seen it now that you say it.
Bryle has the BKB Orchid. We'll be going for Shiva's next. And Mr. Tomato hasn't really found... Okay, he almost has a BKB. It's just in his stash. That's why I didn't see it originally.
Wonder if he's... Do you think that's a good purchase?
The BKB?
Yeah, you're playing against the Naga Ags coming up.
Does he know that he's going Ags?
Viper Strike. Yawara's been showing on the map with the point booster as well as the Blade Alacrity. If it's just the point booster, it could technically be Scotty, but like carries don't buy the point booster first if they're going Scotty. Then they buy the ulti orb.
Right.
So I think it's been pretty telegraphed where Yawara's going. So,
yeah, so it's a little strange.
I don't know if the BKB is really the choice here. There's other items that could have been interesting, like Mjolnir, AC, maybe even probably one of those two actually. Could have been good alternatives.
Well, you could just, I mean, you don't have to BKB right away, right? You'd BKB after you've been snared in that case.
Yeah, there's also Viper Strike.
Yeah, true.
And what are you really counting? You're counting Searing Chains, Poison Attack, and Dawnbreaker's first spell. That's pretty much it.
We got a smoke here from Quincy Crew. Tomato's going to get ensnared to start this off, but he's going to get Lotus to safety.
Yeah, that's one thing that will work very well against the Naga Ags, and they have that covered with the Lycan of Saberlight, who opted to go for that instead of the Ags that we were expecting him to go here on Lycan. Now he might not go it at all. We'll see. Maybe I will get a delayed one. I was not expecting him to get it at all if he didn't get it as second item. But currently rocking the Overlord Drum as well as Lotus. Love this from Bryle. Force Quincy back here.
Yep, they got the fort as well. They're actually staying in the enemy triangle, so it looks like they probably still want to fight, but...
They know Roche is up soon, and it's too important to let go. They need to have some sort of map presence here.
And this is the beauty of having a hero like Dawnbreaker. She can defend and then just ult into the fight whenever.
Absolutely.
I'm actually not even sure why we don't see more of this hero. I feel like as support, it's been pretty consistently good.
I like it a lot when you're playing with multiple ways of setting up stuns. In this game, they have Ensnare as well as the Slight Chains, so that is ways of connecting your ults.
Yeah,
and the defensive Ags is very nice for sure.
Here. And they know that Roche is up. Both teams do. Both teams have really good ways of scouting Roche. And yeah, this is going to be a pretty important one. Roche number 2. Still posturing on the other side is TSM. Oh, Courier actually lives the 2 hits. Does have Shivas now for the Queen of Pain, Mr. Bryle himself.
Good item.
And Yawar is going to try to take Roche essentially solo. And of course, with the Song of the Siren to work with, that is one safety net, no pun intended, for TSM. Or for Quincy Crew, I should say. But TSM, they should have an idea this is going on. They're going to smoke up and likely try to initiate pretty soon here. They're going to have the Wolves to be able to scout as well. But Roche is already relatively low. Bryle with the Shiva's getting a little extra vision, but there's the Song of the Siren. And do they have enough time to actually take out Roche in the meantime? It's getting so low. Finally, they get it. Quinn picks up the Aegis, and now they're going to try to fight. Kezu gets the Viper Strike on the Saberlight. And there you see the Dawnbreaker all coming out. A very good one, but the BKB from Tomato. Sonic Wave onto 2 deletes Kezu from the map. And no Song to actually retreat, so we'll see if Quincy Crew can continue to fight or not. Yawar just getting beat down, but he does have the Aegis. Actually, that was on Ember Spear. That's right, so he's donezo. So 2 for nothing, make it 3. Triple kill all of them, going to Tomato. And the question is, was that worth?
It's easy to see from a spectator standpoint that song was too early, but it is such a difficult judgment call to make in the heat of the moment there for Quincy. Like, if you song in theory like 5 seconds later and the fight doesn't break out before then, you get the Aegis and you TP out on all of your heroes. But the way it ended up, and again, this is kind of a consequence of the item build of the Naga, is the kill just takes too long. So they song, but they had to spend the entire song on finishing it off.
Oh my goodness, and Quinn, oh boy. Sadly for Quincy Crew, they used the Aegis. They'll be able to defend these racks, but that's a pretty big deal that they lose Aegis in that fashion.
For sure.
So TSM with a 2K net worth lead and no Aegis to worry about. The Shard is on Naga right now, but hasn't consumed it yet.
What's he gonna give it to?
I don't... Definitely not a Weaver game. Dawnbreakers is pretty good. Viper... I mean, Kezu's is the best, but for a game like this, I don't know, because you're not really pushing. You're trying to defend, right?
Oh, the -1 armor and poison attack helps.
Yeah, but I feel like it's mostly for buildings.
Yeah. It's not great, but it's something. I guess there's just no excellent choice.
Shapeshift being popped. Tomato, oh my god, again, just destroys Ponlo. Might be a trade for the Bane Elemental, but no.
Oh, no,
this is going to be a big kill onto Quinn, and yeah, a little bit late on that. So 2 for 1, and only the support down for TSM as Yawar forced to use his ultimate, but the BKBs are there and chopped down into oblivion. Double kill for Tomato, and now this is starting to snowball in favor of TSM for sure.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Good voice line usage. Milan gonna get Orchided, so can't converge, but I think he already used it anyway.
Yep, very true. Hammer's not up for another 2 seconds, but the Shackle, good old, what's the name of that Han hero, Cinderin? How did
I'm definitely the right person.
Damn it. As we're gonna see Serpent Wards come out. What's that?
Bombardier.
No.
Amon-Ra.
Well, we'll get there eventually. No, it's the Rasta hero. As we're gonna see a set of racks.
Man. That's a boss in Mega Man 3.
Yeah, sure.
Amazing game, by the way. I'm old.
Cinderin recommends another game while we're still casting Dota.
You're old enough to have played on Mega Man on Game Boy. You should know this game.
I am, actually. There's the grip. Dubu wastes a lot of time here, just enough for his teammates to come in as well as Tomato. Oh, all right. Kezu pops a BKB, but will likely go down nonetheless.
Dubu's dead.
He is.
Unless he traded.
Polywog Priest. Man, that took a while.
Oh, shit. I actually remember that name now that you say it. That's one of the heroes I also remember the name of.
The cosmetic with the tongue.
I think the reason I know that is No-Tail used to play at mid, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. He was a beast.
I miss mid Shaman in Dota. I actually think it's really fun to watch core Shadow Shaman, but it's just not there right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of support heroes that are more fun mid, believe it or not.
According to you, literally all of them.
Yeah, actually. I mean, it makes sense because it's heroes that you're used to seeing as support. They get a ton of items, ton of levels that you're not used to seeing in general. So yeah, it's going to be much more flashy. As we do have the Aghanim Scepter now for Lycan. Moon Meander. Looks like he's going to drop here trying to push. But will that save some time for Tomato to get in as well? Ember Spirit, Quinn gets off the Yules.
Not enough.
Dawnbreaker ults with that Aghanim Scepter. He gets off the Remnant as well. will live, but it'll cost Milan. Oh, it will cost him nothing other than a TP scroll, Cinderin.
All right.
Yep, Yawar gets off that song. Uh-oh, Kezu. Oh my god, look at this damage from Tomato.
Yep. Is there anything more terrifying than a wolf spewing fire out of its mouth?
Probably not. I'm sure we can think of something. That is going to be a kill onto Tomato, but that's just his first life as Milan ticking down very slowly into the tree line. It looks like TSM are going to try to reset. They're going to pop the BKBs and just TP out to safety. And it looks like they'll be successful in doing so.
Even Double gets out with the Force Staff.
Yeah.
Nice disengage. That was really clean.
Absolutely perfect.
They're still continuing to chase, though. Swarm.
Okay, he might end up.
Going to give him vision here, and Quinn will likely be able to catch up, I would think. But his teammates are in the area as Moomianer jumps in with the Serpent Wards and the Shackle and the Choppity Chop. Quinn does get the kill on Dubu, but is it going to cost his own life? Orchid is applied into the Sonic Wave, and yes, indeed, he drops as Kezu, basically the last remaining member in this area. He gets chopped down as well. So double kill for Tomato. He's just racking up those kills this game. 11 and 4 for him. So Yawar left to his own devices in his base. Look at this crit. Boom! God, that feels so good. Actually gets the Wraithfire Blast off before the Starbreaker as well.
Maybe the shard on Milan. I mean,
I don't think there's enough impact on any shard this game for Quincy Crew. And they're just going to go for the Ancient, it looks like. 14k net worth lead for TSM. They can't go for Megas because the tier 2 still exists in that bot lane, but they have enough creeps with that Ancient Granic Golem as a nice little pushing mechanic here. Okay, buyback from Quinn. They're going to try to hold here. The last tier 4 about to drop. Quinn, Tomato. All right, he gets off the Wraithfire Blast with the right clicks as well, but the song is saved here from Yawar. Can they actually do anything here?
Though.
Yeah, Dawnbreaker all trying to make it nice timing here. He's going to drop in, but the BKB from Tomato, he's just going to force this all onto Yawar. This will be a big kill and likely the game ender. 60 seconds on the deck, no buyback whatsoever. So TSM, as GGs are called, will take game 1 in entertaining fashion. Well played from both teams, honestly. I feel like this was the closest game of the DPC regionals, finals. Whatever the hell this thing is called. It's the closest game so far.